Kids, good evening. This is my vlog for December the 2nd, 2012, and how are you? I haven't done a vlog in a while, so I have lots of different things I want to talk about real quick. First of all, bon voyage to all the drag queens and those that decided not to cancel for their carnival cruise. I feel, again, so sorry for the performers and the clients on that cruise. I just think that would be hellish conditions in which to try to enjoy a vacation. And I'm glad at once I'm not a part of that. What else? On the serious subject, the last couple days, I don't know how you guys get your news, but every day when I turn on my computer, the first thing that goes on is Yahoo, and it goes to Yahoo News. And I read through the headlines and see what's going on. And like today, for example, it kind of sucked. And the last several days, it's kind of sucked. I mean, it was exciting during the election because it was like politics and real things were happening. But now the Republicans are still like trying to get over themselves and being intransigent and ridiculous. And for the most part, the rest of the news is just mind-numbing. Like today, some tunnel collapsed in Japan where cars go and they don't know how many are killed or stuck in this 2-mile long tunnel. And, bomb blast, this, that, the other disaster. And it just makes you like kind of never want to read the news, to tell you the truth. That's kind of gross. Because there's never like really anything exciting that happens. That's any like really like upbeat good news. I mean, it's like whoever died, whoever got arrested, whoever slapped, whatever scandal, blah, 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 blah. And the good news you get is like, well, Heidi Klum came to this after Halloween party working it as Cleopatra. Like, I could really give a shit about Heidi Klum. We need some like big good news. You know what I'm talking about? Like globally big good news. Now, what else has been going on? Well, for some of you that keep regular tabs on me, several weeks ago I got the red Mopuff. I took my Mopuff and I finally dyed it flaming, wild flame red. And I got used to getting stares at Walmart and stuff like that. And when people stared too long, I would like pop out my partial and scare them. There's a picture of my partial in one of my pictures. And that works close up in that kind of close up situation. But now, as of yesterday, I dyed this part of my hair green on both sides. So the rest of my head is green. And my beard, I did a chin strap and I dyed it purple. So I am really ready for the holidays. I've got my holiday look covered. I've got the traditional red and green for Christmas, and I've got the spirituality of purple right around my big yap, so that all the bullshit that I talk is now blessed. So today I was out and about doing errands, and I don't get out much very often, but today I had to go out and do errands. And I was having a delightful conversation with one of my favorite sisters in the whole universe. And we were having just a great conversation. I was out doing my thing, filling water bottles, going to the grocery store. I had to go to another store. I had to go look for spray paint, these things. And as I was on my mission, running around, I was talking on the phone. And I also had to stop and get gas. Now that was my very first stop, and I stopped and got gas. And there was this younger kid, a male, and where I live, it's like not cruisy, like you would be like, let's say if you lived in San Francisco or West Hollywood or Fort Lauderdale or something. So it's not normally you would get cruised in Inverness. It's happened, but it's not very often. And he kept staring at me. And at first I was distracted. I was like, whatever, I'm getting gas. I'm pumping gas into my minivan, trying to do my best soccer mom imitation, trying to be the gas fairy and, get her done. And he kept looking. And then I realized he was looking because of my hair and stuff. but he couldn't keep from looking, and he had started pumping a lot longer, and his car was much smaller. So he finished, then he got in his car and he had tinted windows, and he just sat there and looked at me, and looked at me, and looked at me. Now, he wasn't close enough for me to like click out my partial and scare him with my teeth. So I decided that I would revert to the trick I used to use back in the 80s when I did drag in very inappropriate places like supermarkets in the middle of the daytime, and which was shocking. So that's basically the kind of reaction I've been getting with my new look, is utter shock. So I gave him one of those looks that you give somebody when you're cruising them and they're so almost inappropriate that they make you really uncomfortable. And if you happen to be attracted, you know that you're going to get some right then. And if you're not, it makes your asshole shrink up so tight you can make a diamond out of a lump of coal. I gave him that look. And quickly, I heard the ignition on his car start, and he barreled out of the gas station. Now, I had to go to Lowe's, and the people at Lowe's were just not ready for all this holiday festivities. They were busy doing whatever. And I was walking in, and I got yawny. I actually started to yawn. I got this big yawn going on as I'm walking through these double doors. As I'm walking through the double doors, through the side, this lady comes around the corner, and she's like older, chunkier, enormous breasts, which she must be holding up with like 2 Eiffel Towers, because and her back must just be painful and her shoulders must be in agony, because she had some big tits. And so she looked at me, and here I am with my mouth wide open, not even caring. I mean, no class. I wasn't even covering my mouth because there wasn't anybody around. So I'm like, she came around and saw me at that exact same moment, and she grabbed her chest. And I thought to myself, this looks like Red Fox. This looks like Sanford and Sons. You know, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey. Because sadly, she had no pearls to clutch, so all she could do was clutch her heart. And she was obviously quite shocked. And here I was being very classless with my big, wide, yappy mouth open, having a big yawn. So that was kind of fun. Meanwhile, what else is going on? So besides the fact that people are loving the new do out in reality, and some are actually grabbing their children for safety as if I'm going to eat them, like some kind of holiday monster or something. I don't know. At home, where I live, now we all know I live in a haunted house, and we've gotten some really good activity lately. Now, I used to tell the gatekeeper all the time about things that went on in the house, and I usually got brushed off until one day the gatekeeper was a witness to a dish exploding in the sink all by itself. It just exploded into a million pieces. So yesterday I was in the kitchen and I was doing dishes, and the gatekeeper was he was in the same part of the house but like further away. And we both heard this bang on the floor in like the living room. So we both looked at each other, and so he got a flashlight and he went to go investigate. And sure enough, this dyeing product for my hair, the stuff that bleached it out before I could color it, had flown out from my office all the way into another room through curtains and smashed on the floor. Fortunately, it was a plastic container and didn't break, but there was no way it could have gotten there any other way. It flew. And we've had now 3 or 4 of these cases where things have gone missing, where they should be, and we know they should be, or they're flying through the air and landing somewhere else. So the activity has been kicking up in the house lately, which is really cool because it adds to my dimensions. And I wish it would give me a message, though. So far, it hasn't talked and it hasn't shown itself. So I don't know quite what's acting up yet, but I'll get to the bottom of it. And when I do, I'll let you all know. That's about it for now. If you want to give me a great Christmas present, give me a Skype call on Facebook, give me a call on the phone. That's what I'm giving out for gifts this year, some personal contact. If you want to give me a gift, some personal contact. If you can't handle personal contact, though, you're more than welcome to send me cash. I love cash. Gift cards, things like that, but make sure they're like American Express or Visa because there's not a lot of shopping around here. So I don't give out cash for Christmas. I give out my personal je ne sais quoi. But if you don't want my je ne sais quoi, then just send me some cash. Love you, mean it, miss you, bye. Talk to you soon.